All right, I finally have a day where I'm not just mass fluids and snot and everything else coming out of my face. So I can finally talk about what is going on in America right now. Los Angeles, San Francisco, New York, mass protests against ICE raids. Los Angeles has turned into an utter shit show because um, ICE has been clashing with protesters. Police, even though it's been a peaceful protest for the most part, they have been clashing with the protesters. And Trump thinks that Gavin Newsom isn't doing his job by bringing in the National Guard, so Trump took upon himself to send in the National Guard. And I'm sorry, but using tear gas and rubber bullets and coming in with full-on gear and shields and everything, they had no intention of just maintaining order, okay? Like that, when you go in fully armed up with like basically weapons to use against protesters that are peacefully protesting, this was all on purpose. Like Trump wants this to go violent, right? He wanted people. And, you know, I called it a while ago. That Trump was just waiting for an excuse to call in the military, basically. And now look what's happening. Look what the fuck is happening. And it won't be long. Like, before he escalates this. Like, that's my call, is that he's going to escalate it because the protesting is not stopping. I am glad that Gavin Newsom is speaking out, that he wants to sue Trump, that he's like, you know, screw you guys, arrest me if you want to arrest me, but, like, this is unacceptable, and I'm going to fight back. I'm glad that the mayor of Los Angeles is fighting back. I'm glad that people are speaking out and fighting back against Trump and this bull, because this is unacceptable. There are masked men not identifying themselves as ICE grabbing people off the streets. And this has already escalated to other people just doing this, like kidnapping women, because they know they can get away with it. Because what else are you supposed to do when ICE is raiding cities and doing this? Like, and then for Trump to turn it around and make it like that the protesters are bad for wearing masks, yet you let ICE grab people off the street. Children, mothers, families are being grabbed off the streets by masked individuals that do not have to identify themselves. And now they're trying to introduce a bill that if you if you let out the IDs of the identities of ICE agents, you could go to jail. Like, this is some Yahtzee Germany fucking 1930s bullshit. This is exactly where it's going. And to top it off, we've got military equipment coming into Washington, D.C. for Trump's birthday. Like, you might as well just be following the timeline now of what happened in 1930s Germany. You might as well just be following the fucking timeline. Because this is exactly... ICE are now to Gestapo. Like, they're going to round up... They're already rounding up. They're rounding up fucking American citizens because they're protesting. He's trying to claim that LA is now a protest-free zone. Like, that you are not allowed to be... And you know what's interesting is how fucking quiet MAGA is right now. I thought you guys were the party of free speech. I thought you guys fully supported what happened on January 6th, because that was just people speaking out. Those were just people trying to take back their government, fight against the government that they didn't agree with. But I bet you all of you are now standing by Donald Trump while he does all of this illegal shit. Like, I have never seen more of like the biggest fucking cowards on the MAGA side than in this moment. Because you guys hide behind the word illegal immigrant, right? They're illegal. So it's perfectly fine what's going on. No, it's not. Everybody under the US Constitution is allowed due process, whether they are an American citizen or not. Because if you suddenly say, well, no, they're not deserving, you're also saying that no citizen, non-American citizen, that comes into your country for vacation then is not allowed to have due process. And then you wonder why Canadians and the rest of the world are not coming to the United States on vacation right now. Because you guys all think that unless you're an American-born citizen, that you have no right to legal due process. Like, unfucking believable. You guys will sit by while Trump burns democracy to the ground. You will. Every single one of you that said that you needed to keep your pew-pews, you know, in order to defend yourself against a communist dictator government, are now going to sit by, and you will do nothing. You will do nothing. You will let Trump dissolve and destroy democracy, while the other side is out there getting hit with rubber, you know, pew-pews and tear gas and all this other stuff, while you guys sit at home and allow Trump to do this, because you, just like what happens in the 1930s, you think it's all fine. It's fine. Well, it's the government. It's, you know, they're illegal. There's, you know, you're believing the bullshit. You are believing the bullshit. And it's, you know, I don't like being right. I do not like being right. I wish that Donald Trump had to come back into office and made America great again and created prosperity for all. But this is not prosperity. This is you guys sinking into a fucking Yahtzee regime. That's exactly what's happening. And I wish I was not right, because I don't want to be right about this. But this is exactly what we said would happen. And now it's happening. And until Donald Trump does something that affects you personally, the MAGA will just sit by and do nothing. But when your video games get taken away, when your corn gets taken away, when your ability to post whatever the fuck you want online gets taken away, your free speech is absolutely, like, you know, and all of your stuff becomes so expensive that you can't afford it, that you can't even afford to live in the house because government starts seizing property. Like, when all of this shit hits the fan and it affects every single American citizen out there, that's the only time that you're suddenly going to be like, oh, damn. But by that point, it's going to be too late. It's going to be too late. And the thing is that the United States is the most powerful country in the world. Who the fuck do you think is coming to save you when all of this shit hits the fan? Because right now, while Europe is developing military power, and Canada and all these other countries are developing military power because they now realize that the United States is now led by a fucking lunatic that is not going to save Ukraine or anybody else's butt, it's still going to take a while for everyone to get their military power going. So I hope you're comfy for the next 10 years, because nobody is coming to save you, because we can't fight the United States. So if Donald Trump becomes a full-on dictator, seizes total control, dissolves Congress, dissolves the Senate, becomes an absolute authoritarian dictator, you're all fucked. Because I hope you guys, all the ones that have been stockpiling your little pew-pews, you're ready to be your own military, because that is what is going to happen. Because while now, I'm sure there's some level-headed people in the U.S. military and all the branches of the military, there's still a whole lot of cuckoos that are still going to maintain the status quo, that are still going to follow their dear leader, and you're still going to have to deal with them. So again, I hope the U.S. people are ready to become their own military, because you are the only ones that are going to be able to save your asses. The rest of us are just going to be like, sorry. Because frankly, if the U.S. saw another country doing what the U.S. is doing right now to themselves, the U.S. would come in and liberate them. They would be like, oh my God, that's like, they're a human rights violation. They're attacking their own people. Like, it is fucking bonkers. And I've been sitting watching this, dealing with the worst allergies of my life the last few days. Just fluids, just nothing but fluids coming out of my face, okay? Watching this all unfold on streaming, on TV, and I cannot believe that the news is not freaking out more than what they are. They're just acting like this is fucking normal, while the rest of us know exactly what's going on. It's a shit show. And it's gonna get worse. Like, just watch. It's gonna get worse.